Hi everyone, it's Derek from the iReady podcast here, and this is my reaction to the 1-1 draw away against Slavia Prague in the Europa League last 16, leg 1 tonight. That is a fantastic result, regardless of the performance. We've got to be very, very happy with that. Taking an away goal against a very good squad is always a good thing. To deny them more goals, considering they were so dominant in the game as well, it was fantastic. And Alan McGregor, what can you say? I mean, that's certainly up there with the Werder Bremen save, put it that way. Certainly it's all to play for next week, but we have got the slight advantage obviously with the away goal, and that's always what you want. A 1-1 is far better than a 0-0 as Leicester found out in the last leg. But the game itself, it was an unchanged side that met St Mirren. There was also around 300 local key workers there as well as a thank you, which is obviously great to see. You really need to start getting fans back into the stadium now. First half, we actually only turned up for the moment when we scored, and that was really it. We're not at the races at all. I don't think that's anything to do with a hangover. I know a lot of people online have been saying that, but I don't think there's anything to do with that. Slavia were playing very well, a lot of confidence, and as they should be given the form that they're in as well. Very similar form to us. They were pressing high, they were not giving us any time in the ball at all, but for all their possession and being clearly the better team in the first half, they only made McGregor work about 2 or 3 times, and even then I wouldn't say they were anything more than your normal keeper would have dealt with. They certainly weren't of the rank of the save he made late in the second half. They only had 5 shots at goal the whole first half, and given their dominance, that's pretty poor, to be honest. At the same time, that a lot of that's got to be put down to our defence, because they done the job well and they snuffed it out. The game was really quite scrappy at times. There was a lot of niggly fouls. Granted, the referee was blowing for everything tonight. He was just not letting anything go. There was a few yellow cards given out, justified as well. The Slavia goal, though, came on the 6th minute. What is it with the 6th minute? Every time we seem to lose goals in the 6th minute or score. But it came early on, and it was an absolute peach in fairness. I would have said out of really nothing, to be honest. That's the thing. We were early stages of the game. We never knew how dominant they were trying to be at that point. But it was really just a long ball knock from the centre in the midfield to the left. The player cuts it back to the edge of the box. Acres of space. That's maybe the only one thing we could say, that he shouldn't have got that amount of space at the edge of the box. But he looks up and he hits an absolute peach of a shot into the top right hand corner. McGregor just had to stand there and watch it because it was an unstoppable shot. I don't think there is many, if any, keepers or defences that would have saved that one. So I've got to take that on the chin. We might have thought that would have spurred the team on, but no, Slavia really asserted their dominance at that point. We were second to every ball. Granted, we were not getting the break of the ball, but that was down in part to the way Slavia were playing. They were chasing every ball. They were not letting us have any time on the ball at all. And there's not many teams that could actually say that this year, that they've done that. There's been passages of play where maybe 5-10 minute spells at maximum where teams have pegged us back and not give us time. But this was more or less the whole first half. Around about the 30th minute, we did start getting a wee bit more possession. We did start to get a wee bit more forward. Not that we'd done much with it. However, we did on the 36th minute, and Helander drew us level at 1-1. It was a free kick by Barisic on the left. He floats it into the middle, knocked to the right. The play was back across the goal. It looked as if it was going out to the touchline. Hadji, to his credit, was lightning, and he never gave up, and it was fantastic to see. And he managed to keep it just in, and at the same time he knocked the ball across the goal, and all that Helander had to do was tap it into an empty net. Just outstanding from Hadji there. Really nothing Helander had to do exciting, but that was all down to Hadji's tenacity there and not giving up. And I don't know if the keeper was just caught unaware and he was blindsided by the pace of Hadji and getting to the ball. The keeper should have done a lot better, but you know, that's what you have in Hadji there. So, given the fact that we're 1-1 going into half-time, got to be delighted with that, because I would not say we deserved it, to be honest. But that's with the caveat, they never made our keeper work overly hard, and our defence done its job. So into the second half, as you always do, expect a wee bit more from the team, and first maybe 15 minutes, it started off very similar to the first half. They had a lot of possession. We had more possession than we did in the first half, certainly. And then we switched on round about the 60th minute. I don't know if that had anything to do with the fact that on the 62nd minute, Hadji came off and Arfield came on, just like for like in position wise, different for the defence to handle. We certainly did have a lot more possession. We did have a few chances flashed across goal. Just the front three tonight, I think it was symptomatic of the team as a whole, just choosing the wrong option. They never really got to grips with it. I think some of them maybe needed to drop back a wee bit and give the midfield a wee bit more options when they were breaking forward. And then there was a really good move down the right. Aribo got into the box on the right. He had the option to shoot. He done the unselfish thing, tried to cross it across goal to the Morelos who was in the box, but the defender got to it. Maybe the wrong option. That's maybe one of these things, but I'm not going to knock the team too much for that. And then in the dying minutes of the game, on the 89th minute, Slavia were down the right, they crossed it in, it took a deflection, McGregor was scrambling across his goal and he got a touch to it, and to save it sneaking into the top left, it was going in if he never got that slight nick to it there. Ended up knocking out to our defender who knocked it out for the corner. The resulting corner resulted in an absolute incredible save. Certainly one of McGregor's best, one of the best you'll see in Europe, and there's only a couple of keepers I've seen manage to do something similar, but this was just out of this world. The corner came in right into the middle, the attacker towers above the defence and gets an absolute bullet header to it, hit it perfectly. It was with a lot of pace down into the bottom right hand corner, and McGregor somehow at full stretch dives right across his goal. The ball ended up going slightly behind him, dived, made a one-handed save to stop the ball dead, and he ended up gathering it in with his hand. Just, I don't have any other words than just wow, because it was incredible. A certain goal, a mere mortal would have never got there, and that is the difference. The saves he had made earlier on in the night were run-of-the-mill, I would have said. They were decent, but largely any keeper worth his salt should have got that. That is what you have a great keeper like McGregor for, saves like that, and he proves it time and time again. And he maybe had a wee bit more to do tonight than he has done in previous games, but still largely a lot of the game he wasn't called into action, and to pull a save like that off is just otherworldly. But you run out of things to say about McGregor, to be honest, and certainly after the videos of him more or less hanging out the back of the car coming out the training ground the other day, and pulls off something like that, wow. But anyway, that's the full-time whistle blew shortly after that. As I said, got to be delighted with that. We bring it back to Ibrox next week, and we see what happens. Certainly advantage us, I would have said, but we still need to do the job. I don't want us to rely on that away goal. I want us to go out there and show what we can do, but it's going to be a different dynamic, because if we go out all gung-ho and lose a goal, then that's the advantage blown. So I kind of expect the teams to kind of match up very similar to what it is tonight. Just hopefully we don't concede a lot of the possession like we did tonight, but got to be happy. Obviously, no game at the weekend. A wee bit of a break for the team. The way we've played this year, it's been relentless, and we don't like these breaks, but this time it's enforced on us, so we'll just need to wait and see how we react to that. Dave and I are going to be recording before the next Slavia game. We're recording on Wednesday night, so it'll be out early hours of Thursday morning probably. So, as ever, you can go to our website, which is ireadypodcast.wordpress.com, and there you can find a lot of not all, because I've still not updated it yet, but a lot of the podcasts that we do. So, thanks for listening, and goodbye.